This is the Game Gestures Gaming Update Podcast, here with episode 14 with your hosts, Angrod and Shamrock. So we're doing a little special one now. We're doing a live podcast, like we mentioned to you before. So we're live on Twitch right now doing this podcast, and we're going to upload to the usual spots. We'll have it on YouTube. We'll have it on all of our audio places we usually do with just the audio. But you can also come and check us out on Twitch and see us do it live while we're doing it. So we have a few things to jump into. Right away, there was the Nintendo Direct just went on. So Shamrock can take it away with what went on at the Nintendo Direct.
Yes, and it's a lot to cover, but I do want to just give a quick shout out to, in our chat room, we have crazy fan Jessica who says that we are the hottest people she has ever seen. We're like the Sam and Dean of the gaming world. I just made that all up. But
oh man, you had my hopes up.
I'm just getting your hopes up. I'm sorry.
I was really liking Jessica there.
But no, the Nintendo Direct did just happen, and it was quite a big one, which surprised a lot of people. They had over 30 announcements, and I obviously am not going to talk about all 30 things because that would be crazy, and we wouldn't have enough time. I do just want to talk about what, more or less was the big updates for me, and I don't really care about anything else, so that's where I'm going with this. I was very excited. You should have heard me squeal. You probably did hear me squeal all the way up there, up north. You know how we talked about earlier in the year, we mentioned some of our gaming predictions for 2019?
Yep. Yeah, I remember.
One of them I was like, this is the year we get Mario Maker. Little did I know they would announce it so soon. Mario Maker 2 is the one that kicked off the Direct. And then you had asked me, what could they possibly add to the game to make a sequel? Let me tell you.
Let's hear what they... Wait, before you jump in, can I just... Wait, what was it? I forgot now. There was something when I played, and I mentioned to you that they should add. I forgot what it was, though.
Well, we'll see if they added it. If you remember. But no, I was surprised because I just thought, I thought, they were just going to add slopes and, that was going to be, because that's, where the thing that's actually exactly how the video started. They're like, oh, look, we have slopes. And it was like, okay, well, I guess that's what they're adding. So they added the slopes. They added the Angry Sun character from Super Mario 3. They added custom scrolling, so you could for scrolling levels, you could either scroll up and down, left or right, and it's completely customizable. They added snake blocks, blocks of, you can move your blocks into a set, like literally a game of Snake. Custom on-off switch blocks are here. Different colored pipes. You have a red pipe, which I don't know what it does. The clear pipe from Super Mario 3D World. Speaking of Super Mario 3D World, that's a level in itself. You can create levels from Super Mario 3D. They have now desert levels, snow levels, rising and sinking water, those climbable fences that you can climb on in Super Mario World from the Super Nintendo. Gust of winds lift you. Yeah, the little flip ones. They didn't have that in the first one. Which was... there's more. Catsuit Mario from Super Mario 3D World.
Whoa. Catsuit. You mean the Tanuka suit?
It's
I don't know.
Cat.
I don't know the cat one.
It looks just like this, actually.
I've never seen that one. Huh? I know the Tanuka suit.
It allows you to climb up walls, and that's a new feature. They have the puffer fish as an enemy. That annoying thing from the Super Mario... They actually incorporated a lot more of the enemies from Super Mario World. An Ant Trooper, Skip Squeak, bees, bully enemies, which was... Oh my god, I think that was from 3D World as well. And the Piranha Snake Vines that, you can go all sorts of... The fire-breathing Yoshis. And the biggest thing that they possibly added is a potential co-op mode. They do have Luigi featured in there somewhere. And there was also Toadette, and I think maybe Toad.
So, did they show about the co-op mode? Would it be like usual switch off, take turns, or will it be like the new one, the Mario Brothers U?
They didn't actually... this is what they kind of more... They hinted at this. They hinted at the co-op mode, so it's kind of more unknown. I think for this game, it's going to be on-screen co-op. Like on-screen, like how they do in the newer Super Mario games, where everyone's on the screen at the same time. I think that's the direction they're trying to take with it, because if you look at how they just recently ported over Super Mario Wii U to the Switch, and they had that 4-player co-op where everyone's on the screen at the same time. And they actually, for Super Mario Maker 2, incorporated a lot from Super Mario Wii U. So, I mean, and 3D World, which was also another co-op thing. So, I think it's going to be on screen. I'm excited for this. It comes out June of this year.
June.
So those were just
Pretty
things
soon.
that were in the trailer. So we haven't seen everything yet. There's still more.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see the 3D World too. That's got to be, instead of the side-scrolling, get it the 3D, like the 64 one roaming around like that. That'd make the level building really intense.
I don't know if they're going to go Super Mario 64 route, but I think they're going whatever the one on the Wii U was, the 3D World on the Wii U one, where it was still kind of had the side-scrolling, but everything you can go and move to the front of the screen and the back. But, they might. Who knows at this point? They might incorporate something from...
See, the 64 version of the 3D World, that would be amazing, but man, would it be so hard to build your custom world like that.
But when you asked what could they possibly add, that was just what you could see in the trailer. Just right now, what you could see in the trailer. This is people dissected the trailer, and these were all the things they found. They went piece by piece, and by people I mean more than just me. They went piece by piece.
So there might be a lot more coming.
There might be, yeah. And, that was the big highlight for me. I screamed like a little girl. I was excited. Just quickly to run down some of the other ones that were there. Captain Toad, another game I loved, got a free DLC and a new co-op mode, which was available right now. As of now. As of after the Direct Air, they were like, and available now. Haven't played the co-op or the free DLC, but actually, no, there's another DLC coming in March, but I forgot about that one. Yoshi's Crafted World got a demo, and I actually really like it. I was on the fence about it, but it looks great. It plays well, and they put a lot of detail into it. I think they're hinting at some Nintendo Labo tie-in to that somehow. I don't know how exactly, but I mean, I know Labo didn't really take the world by storm, but Nintendo's refusing to give up on it, so I think they might incorporate that somehow.
Yeah, not familiar at all with Labo. Never heard of it.
There's that little cardboard stuff that, you can do all the coding with, and it's been, some schools are starting to incorporate Labo programs into their, into like elementary schools and things like that, so kids can learn how to code using Nintendo Labo. It's kind of
interesting.
It's an interesting way they approached it. They didn't get the phenomenal sales they were hoping, but it's been used for different things. Another quick one, Tetris 99 was this is okay. I'm gonna laugh at this. Battle Royale Tetris.
Yeah, no, I mean, it became big. I saw it everywhere. The day I wasn't even home, so when it launched, I was out traveling for work. I wasn't here, and I've already heard everyone talking about it when I wasn't even around to do any updates, which is it's kind of goofy. That's all I'm going to say on it.
It's weird. It's weird because it's weird. It shouldn't be something that works as well as it does. Although there's not really much of a tutorial. You need a tutorial to play Tetris, but I mean a tutorial because you can launch all these attacks, but it doesn't tell you how to really launch the attacks. It just has like a menu on top of the thing. It's like, here, press one of these buttons and see what it does. And then
so that's a big battle royale type of gameplay. It's always you don't know what you're doing until you play. They force you to play a bunch of games to keep playing to learn what you're doing.
Oh yeah, that's here's one I'm on the fence about, and I'll tell you why. Dead by Daylight just got announced for the Switch. From the little bit they showed of it. Okay, here's the thing. Dead by Daylight struggles to run on regular consoles. So, I'm really, really on the fence about how this one's going to play out. Because, like I said, it takes forever to load on regular consoles.
Yeah.
And it kind of, the way it looks right now, they need to really optimize it. Because right now it kind of looks like it's just a bad game that was made for the Wii.
They'll just make it cartoony version. They'll make it
Dead
by Mario.
It kind of looks like it was ported to the Wii, and that's not a good thing. So I'm really hoping they kind of fix that, because that could, that could pave the way for other. There is a asymmetrical horror game that's interested in already doing that, but I can't think of the name of it. It's like It's like 16 players at once or something. It's everybody for themselves. I really can't remember what it's called.
Interesting.
And I know they want to launch on the Switch as well. If I got to look it up later, and I'm be like, that's what it was called. I think I'm following it. Actually, I am following it on my what do you call that? Steam. I'm too lazy to look right now.
But before we move away from Nintendo catch-up, you see, I saw they were doing another. I got excited about it when I saw new Final Fantasy, but then when I click, it's just new Final Fantasy coming to the Switch.
Yeah, it was just pretty much like Final Fantasy IX is available today.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, it was. Well, I think this one it was 7.
They went trollololol to you. Oh, was 7?
It was 7, but
I skipped over that. I was still like Mario Maker, woo!
9 did come out too, but the one I saw, it was 9 came out. Was it yesterday? And then 7 was the one that I saw, and I was like excited, and then I just saw, nope, it's an older one coming to the Switch now, and
that's what they do. Yeah, they're not going to get anyone.
March 26th, 7 will come to the Switch.
There's a rumor some Kingdom Hearts remasters are coming to the Switch, but not 3 because of how demanding 3 is. So
it's high intense.
That might happen. The last other bit of highlights there, we had Daemon X Machina. It was a demo for that game that was highlighted at E3 last year. Looked really goofy. Played the demo. I can confirm it's really goofy. It's not really that good of a game. As in the state it is now, it's just not. I don't like it. It's
Daemon X.
Something. Daemon X Machina. Daemon X.
Oh wait.
It actually.
Yeah, the cybernetic guy.
Yeah, it looked like it was supposed to be something good, but then I don't know. I think because maybe it's just the demo. It's like it feels like a lot of people were describing it as it feels like when you're pressing a lot of the buttons on your controller that they're not responding, and it's not like it doesn't feel like you're doing anything.
Which one did you say came to the Switch?
Daemon X Machina. It was a demo. The game comes out sometime later this year.
Gotcha.
But then, speaking of it, I think this is an exclusive too coming up. Astral Chain, which is a new game from Platinum Games, which is some sort of co-op action type game, which is all sorts of futuristic looking, and that looks really cool. So I'm hoping that's good. And one you might like, but you might not like, because the way they did it, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
Yeah, so I heard about that one. I'd rather them do A Link to the Past. Honestly, I'd love them to do that one. Link's Awakening was all right, but I might check it out though.
It was funny because I was watching the reaction videos of the Direct, and the audience because they streamed the Direct at the Nintendo New York store, right as the Link's Awakening trailer is playing, and the guy's like, "Oh my God, Pokemon! It's a new Pokemon movie!" And I lost it. I'm like, I actually thought that too for a second because it was terrible. It's hilarious but terrible. But yeah, that was pretty much all the highlights. Like I said, there was 30 some announcements, but those were the ones that I was drawn to and I cared about. Some of the
one that really jumped out.
Yeah, those were the ones that I I thought were relevant. Other ones, not so much. I mean, there was some, for if you're into that kind of thing. I can't even remember what some of the other ones were. Dragon Quest had, Dragon Quest Maker. That was one of them. But, if you're not a big Dragon Quest fan like I'm not, it's not going to appeal to you. So
love Dragon Quest. So, but the newest one was actually pretty good. But yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got for Nintendo. So we can move right along to. I mean, unless you have something you want to add to that, or you want to go.
Not so much just that little part. Now, there was, just last weekend, we missed it. We meant to stream on Friday, but as I said, I was out of town, so we couldn't, so we missed it. But it gave us more time now with 3 big, apologies, 3 big games that just came out over the weekend. The first one, I'm going to go down the list, Jump Force, came out February 15th. So, the reviews are in. I played the demo. I watched videos, watched people play, got all the reviews. So Turns out the characters are kind of an even worse reskin of another than Super Smash Brothers characters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's one thing. They're kind of like Super Smash Brothers. You have like maybe 6 or 7 good characters, and everyone else is a reskin of it. You got Mario, Dr. Mario, Mario wearing green, and he's a little taller.
Oh my god. Are you serious? That's a thing?
Yeah, but so yeah, that's how Jump Force characters are pretty much like, so you don't have to learn any different combos. Every combo you hit is the same combo for every character, but they have a different animation for their move. So like XX square will be the same as every character. That'll be the same combo for everyone. So you don't have to learn, just learn the combos for one. So it really dumbs it down a lot. And yeah, and the cutscenes.
So is it not like, is it still worth the hype, or is it like just?
It's a mix. So it's it's a good time-killing fighter game, kind of. They can do so much more with it, I believe.
Man,
the only thing is the story, though. The cutscenes are kind of cheesy. The story's a little awkward and boring. There's a bad reason for why they all group up. It's it's a try-hard. They kind of force it.
Speaking of tryhards, all those salty people, man.
Yeah.
No, $20. I'm gonna wait till it's about $20 at that point. Cause
yeah.
I was looking forward to it, but now I'm hearing this, and I'm like,
Yeah, the average ratings for it are between 6 and 7, which isn't terrible, but it's lower than what I thought. So I'm gonna hold off on this one as well for the full game.
Nice. Not to interrupt you really quickly there. I did have a comment come through on Facebook. This is a legit comment this time, but this guy, he's kind of being a little trolly, but I appreciate it. He says, "I do agree with Crazy Jessica. You guys are the hottest guys in gaming." So thank you, Zachary, for that. Always appreciate that.
Well,
but continue. I just had to throw that out there.
Getting some
Crazy Jessica strikes again.
Good old Jessica. She'll have to hit us up after the podcast. So, another big game, a huge game that, for fans of the series that came out also February 15th, was Metro Exodus. And all fans of the following of it. So, this game had some pretty big changes, and they're actually doing... It's completely flipped from the last game. This one's doing incredibly well for itself when it came out. So I
had a feeling it would be compared to... Well, no, actually, I thought Jump Force was going to do phenomenal.
I thought it was going to do really well, too.
This is all shocking to me right now.
Yeah. But, so, Metro, they changed it up a little bit. The supplies in this are bumped way up, making it much easier to find ammo and stuff to use in the game than the previous games, where it's a little bit harder to find. So they made it a little bit easier, and they removed the game's bullet economy, which, if you didn't play the games, they usually use this caliber of bullets that you find. Instead of money, you get this ammo, and this bullet is used for the money. Well, they seem like they removed the bullet economy, making, so you don't have to keep count on your bullets anymore.
So is there a reason they did all that? Did they want to make it more reason or another? Like, were people complaining that previous games were...
Not really. I thought they were pretty well balanced before. They were decent. I guess they're just going towards more less hardcore gamers and making it easier for people. There is a hard mode where it'll still make it harder.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe that's because with the trend of Battle Royale games, as being an appealing thing and getting casual people to come aboard, I think maybe they kind of took a note from that page. I could be wrong. That's just my thought with that, but...
Possibly, but... They also changed... This is a big change to the game. Anyone who played before know... Atreyum is no longer a silent protagonist. He's now getting a voice actor for it. Some people don't like this, but I think it's fine. It works out having the main character actually talk now instead of being silent the whole game. But some people don't like it. However, they said it's not enough to ruin the game because they did really well on building their maps. They made a really good story, so everyone's okay with it. They're really liking it. It's getting an average rating of 8.5 to 9.
That's not bad. That's pretty good especially for that genre. So
yeah, it's doing good. It's up there.
When we had Metro Exodus, you had, oh my god, you had something else.
What's that?
I was going to add to that, but I completely lost it. So you can just move on. I'm done.
Okay.
I lost it. It was like I had something to say, and nope.
Well, we also got just a little bit of with Destiny 2. By now, everyone's heard Bungie splitting from Activision, and they've been doing. Yeah, it's been big news, and they've been doing a lot of rework. So one of the things, though, is Trials of the Nine. That's actually been removed from the game, and they said it won't be coming back for quite some time now. Which gives you, I mean, you got to think of it. Bungie lost Activision, which, I mean, they're doing a lot of revamping, and Activision was a high profit company, so they did get a lot of their money for all the stuff they did from them. So now all of their changes, they're going to go for the route for the better, but they lost a lot of that money that's helping.
So a lot of that Activision big money that they had coming in. So now they went from being like a big studio to this little kind of sub. So now they got, which happens a lot in.
Yeah, I mean, Bungie at least has their name behind Halo and with Destiny. So by them working alone, it's not a huge detriment, but it's going to change things. It's going to slow things down. We're going to see they'll get they'll finally do things their way, but it'll take a little longer because less money.
Kind of like when Niantic left Google, when you had like that big, they had the big cash cow that was Google supporting them, and then they went to be their own thing, and then, luckily for them, Pokemon Go became a big thing. That's the only equivalent I could think of another time where a smaller company branched out like that, and so maybe they'll go that route for them. And
good. They'll just need something big to pull them back in.
Destiny Go, man. Real life, AR shooter. What can go wrong?
Augmented reality Destiny. Huh.
What can go?
I can jump into that.
Everything could go wrong with that.
I could give that a shot.
Oh God, I shouldn't say that. That's, oh my Lord.
So I did have one movie update here, and
sweet.
Nothing I'm too excited about, but with the huge fan base behind it, I'm sure a lot of people are still happy.
Medea's family funeral.
That's coming up.
But no. That's what you're excited for, right?
No. This is Star Wars Episode 9, long running since the reboot, or since the Disney brought it back. They've just wrapped up filming, which the movie will be out in December. So expect to see trailers sometime mid this year. We're going to start seeing some of that. I
expect to see them right around May. Whatever big Marvel movie's coming out in May, if there is one. Actually, another big movie. After this, I'm going to jump into the Marvel movie. But I just want to say they had a whole ton of movies that they planned out for Star Wars, but they put them all on hold because of the fatigue. They had 13 movies planned, and it's like, that's way too much. So they caught on to that. They canceled everything. They put it on hold. But now the new trilogy that got confirmed is Rian Johnson's confirmed. His trilogy will be the next one to come out, which is kind of unfortunate as to how bad his work was in Episode 8. But we'll have his trilogy. But why? Why did that happen?
Why
was it bad? I obviously didn't see it, so.
Well, this is a
spoiler version.
This is a whole podcast on its own. We can talk about how he ruined that. He took every kind of story arc that J.J. Abrams had built up. Rian Johnson kind of destroyed it and ripped it apart. And it's just, I don't want to go too much in detail on this podcast, but it's more for a ranting podcast.
We'll have to do that. We'll have to have just a rant and rave podcast one day.
That could work out.
About anything. When we have no news to share, it's just our rant and rave.
That could be just random just chatting on Twitch, because they have that section now.
We're going to schedule that. We're going to schedule a rant and rave. We're going to do it.
I like that. Oh, actually, I forgot. And so yeah, what did you, you haven't had any, Star Wars movie. You didn't watch any of the 3 that they just made, did you?
No. I saw, the last one I saw was was it The Force Awakens? God, what, 2015?
Force Awakens. That was 7. Episode 7?
Yeah, that's the last one I saw. So I haven't seen any of them since.
Well, then you didn't miss much, since there's only episode, well, unless you count the side spin-offs, but there's only episode 8 after that one, which is the one that Ryan Johnson did, which I did not like.
Well, that's why, I mean, I heard a lot of negative things about it going into it, so I was like, oh god, I'm gonna wait for DVD. And then DVD came, and then I was like,
just no interest.
I kind of forgot, so now I want to wait for Netflix, and then,
Netflix won't get it.
Well,
Netflix,
that's what I mean now, because
2019, what was it? September, Disney is starting their own streaming where everything Disney is being pulled from Netflix, which they went back. Netflix Marvel's originals are back to being canceled again.
Well, now, which is another stupid thing, which I can understand why because they want to jump on that, that Disney thing. But there's another thing. Now you got to pay another, God knows how much a month for yet another streaming service.
Yeah.
So, if you have Netflix, if you have Hulu, if you have Amazon Prime, which I have all three, and
I have all three as well. Huh. That's a lot of money.
And I get the discount rate on all of them because either student discount or promotional pricing. If it wasn't for those things, I wouldn't be interested.
Yeah.
So your move, Disney. You come out with something for only $4.99, then you sell me.
Yeah. But yeah, they'll be pulling all them. But speaking of Disney route, they're saying their next big seller thing, the Marvel. So Marvel Endgame trailer just launched, and that was pretty big.
See, all these things that are happening, and I'm not seeing any of them because I've just been so out of tune with what's going on this week.
You've been checking out that Nintendo stuff. You've been...
Well, the Direct was a big part of my week, but also, school being a thing, unfortunately.
Yeah. True. But...
I miss those days.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, the Endgame trailer was actually really cool, but they blocked out a lot. They don't really... You can see... spoiler if you didn't watch the trailer. So, we'll skip ahead 30 seconds. They brought Ant-Man back, which is cool, and they brought a few other people in the trailer. So it's interesting to where are they going with the movie direction. Mm-hmm. And spoilers ended. I just want to mention that the characters in the trailer. But yeah, if you
everyone dies. Spoiler alert. No.
Well, kind of. They're hitting there.
Oh my! As that's a thing. Of course it is.
If you believe, Samuel Jackson actually dropped the ending of Endgame, and if you think that's a red herring or not, if it is a red herring, that was a pretty good red herring. But if not, then yeah, he dropped the whole ending.
Unrelated to that though, I did see Frozen 2 had a legit teaser now.
They had 145 million views in less than a day.
Wait,
on YouTube for
on
their trailer.
Or?
No, Frozen 2. Frozen 2.
Because it's a real one this time. It's not it's not the Rec Rolled.
I really like the Rec Rolled one. That was kind of funny. But the real Frozen 2 trailer hit 145 million views in less than a day.
I know. I told my niece the other day that they're making a Frozen 2, and she goes, "Really?" Like, she was so excited. She thought it was like the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And she's bugging me now to go see it. I didn't see the first one yet, so.
I didn't. I don't really watch those movies, but I
know
appreciate
Anna
it.
and Elsa are lesbians. That's all I know.
No, just Elsa.
That's what I've been told. I've been told they're in a lesbian relationship, and it's a pretty big thing. And or maybe that's the fan fiction I've been reading. It could go either way. Anyway, let's move on to something else because now we're creeping out our audience.
Yeah. I will add a little correction. It's Elsa they're making go the lesbian route where she'll have a girlfriend in the Frozen 2. But we'll move on to the next one. What else? You had Friday. What's going on Friday?
Friday news. I did because this ties into the movie too potentially. They really are pushing to make another movie, and of course there's also fan projects that are in the work. And for some reason the lawsuit doesn't affect the fan projects, but an actual real movie it does. But there's this big thing now that of course Victor Miller was fighting for the rights to the character because it was one of those weird situations where it's like, oh, I created the character, but then someone else used it, and then because it got popular, I want the rights back to that kind of thing. But then Horror Inc. was all, if you've been following the lawsuit, you know how that goes. Horror Inc., the one who, Victor won the lawsuit, And then Horror Inc. was like, oh, no. Not so easy. You ain't off the hook yet. And so basically this week there was a new thing where Horror Inc. they filed some sort of appeal to the lawsuit, which was supposed to be dragging out the lawsuit for another 2 years, at the very least. And because of that, they filed their appeal, but with something within their appeal, something with the wording of the appeal, they made a mistake with. So then they just withdrew the appeal. And I think a lot of people are kind of maybe looking too much into this because this could go either way. Now, here's the thing. They have a chance to refile a new appeal. And if they refile a new appeal, basically this lawsuit is going on for another 2 years. There will not be another movie in that time, and especially anything with the game. Well, they don't want to do anything with the game regardless, but there won't be anything allowed. No new content in the game, no new movies, nothing. That will just get drawn out for however long that takes. That could take a minimum of 2 years, and it could, of course, go longer. However, the small glimmer of hope is I know Victor Miller has been fighting for some sort of towards some sort of. And here's the thing: most everyone involved in this lawsuit is in their 70s. So, so if this goes on, either they're gonna unfortunately pass on, or the lawsuit will just get resolved by then. One of those two things is going to happen. But there's a possibility that they could reach a settlement, and if they reach a settlement, that allows new content for the game, and it allows the new movie to be made. If they reach a settlement, we have a new movie possibly coming next year, March 13th, which is the next Friday the 13th, because they were going to want to release it on a Friday the 13th. So there's that. Depends which way it goes.
We'll have to see with the lawsuit. I know they had the original script for the next, which was supposed to be part 2 of the remake. They had the original script made, then they scrapped it, and then they sold it, then they had to start all over again, and that's when the lawsuit hit, and they stopped everything, and it's been a huge mess. I know also with the reboot, they even had an original script where Tommy Jarvis was supposed to be returning for that movie, but because of lawsuits hit them as well, they had to scrap it, get rid of Tommy Jarvis, and the only way they can do it was have it said not really a reboot, but not really a reboot type of thing. So it was a fake reboot.
Not necessarily for the movie, but what was the problem for this whole game situation? When they were coding the game as, what was it, Slay Away Camp or something like that? When it was back on Kickstarter before it was even revealed to be Friday the 13th? It was something like that.
Or was it the original name of the camp? I think Camp Blood? Maybe a Slay Away Camp.
But whatever that original name, if they had just kept with that, they could have been doing whatever they want with this game.
Yeah, like Dead by Daylight. They're good. They switched the names up and they're set.
But, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I think Horror Inc. is going to refile the appeal, and this is going to get dragged on. And even if they don't and they reach a settlement, Gun Media doesn't care about the game.
No, they got their money. They jumped.
They say they do, but then they're going to be like, oh, well, it's too much work to put stuff into it now, and blah, 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 but we'll just keep putting updates. So even if there's a settlement, I don't see new content. I just don't see it. Speaking of lawsuits, though, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Alfonso Ribeiro. Is that his name? Ribeiro? The guy from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air who did the Carlton dance.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the actor's name. The Carlton guy. He just got denied in a lawsuit. Basically, a judge had told him, your dance is 3 moves. You can't copyright those 3 moves.
See, it's really hard to copyright a dance, kind of.
Which is what we were talking about several weeks ago. It's like, you can't copyright a dance. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's funny. So that leads the way, so now we could freely floss. We can, hey, everybody, let's floss. Everyone in this room, let's do it. Come on, guys.
We're not ninja.
I was hoping to get a flossing contest going, man.
I feel I was set up for that one.
You were, yes.
And Ninja, while you're when you check out our stream, just make sure to leave a comment down below about how you want us to join in with you with the floss dance. Thanks, Ninja.
If Ninja wants me to floss and it will get us viewers, I will do it. I will do whatever Ninja asks.
He's going to be the next one on him right after Jack Black. Ninja will be jumping.
Yes, Jack Black. Come on, Jack. I've been calling you Jack.
We'll have
really
to
haven't
find
found him.
we'll have to find some way to hit up his hotline to get him on.
Oh my God, we should. We're gonna get a harassment suit filed against us. You know this. Anyway, moving along. That's all the news I had for Friday the 13th, and all the news I had for the Carlton. I kind of want to do the Carlton just to be a dick, but I won't.
Just to sell out for it, and then the floss dance with it. So
I don't know how to do either one. So.
I have one last thing before we. If you had
Yes,
anything
'cause
else before we wrap up?
Before we wrap up, you got to
Okay.
close this down, man. Shut it down.
Yeah, I had one last thing here. Just a quick thing. Sony is giving away the Spider-Man avatar for anyone who's platinumed the Spider-Man game, much like they did for platinuming Bloodborne and Horizon Zero Dawn. But some people said that they didn't receive the item they were supposed to get. It's supposed to be sent to you in a code to the email you have linked to your PSN account. Make sure you're checking the right email. I saw a lot of people were checking the wrong email, but other people, they legit didn't get it. If you didn't get it, shoot Sony the email, let them know, and they should send you the code your way to get you the avatar. If you're missing out, if you platinumed the 3 games I mentioned, Bloodborne, Horizon, I think God of War was there.
The important part, though, of that is to make sure you actually platinum the game.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you platinum the game. That's how you
Because there
get
are
it.
probably people who are doing that. They're probably like, oh, well, this is free. I didn't get it. I have the game. No, you have to platinum the game. You have to follow the instructions.
Yeah. You gotta make sure you get the platinum, and then it should be yours, that avatar. I'm part of the ones. I'm too lazy. I didn't get my code, but I'm too lazy to email Sony.
I could relate to that. I almost did the same for Piranha Plant, but I went to my junk mail, so it's like,
Yeah.
there's that. That's a thing. So check your junk mail too, because it could be there. Check your junk. That's my message of the day.
I never check my junk. It might be sitting there.
Check your junk.
Well,
That's gonna be. That's what I'm gonna call this episode on all the sites.
there we
Check your
go.
junk.
We got a good one. Check your junk. And tune in, and you'll see what we're referring to.
And then this episode has been sponsored by your local proctologist. Check your junk.
I'll dig it. But until then, we'll see. So we're going to be, anyone tuning in on their live streams, we're going to be jumping into the game after here. And by the end of today, we're going to drop a host by anyone's viewing and supporting. So make sure on our live podcast days, check us out. Check us out our game. Make sure you interact with us in the chat. And then at the end of it, we'll be dropping a host on one of you guys.
Yes, and then as always, make sure you follow us on our social medias. We are Gamer Jesters on Facebook. I completely blanked out there. What is it? What's Facebook? Twitch,
Yeah.
hashtag Gamer Jesters. I'm Sean Shamrock, which are a video game jester on Twitch.
Yes.
Oh my God, not Twitch. Twitter.
Well, I'm both of them, actually. Twitch and Twitter. I'm Video Game Jester.
And on Twitch, I'm TG, as in the Grand Lord Shamrock.
Nice. Switches every time.
It does. It really does. But that's it.
Until then,
Peace.
check you guys out next week.
So now we're doing